Good morning, students. Today we have a video demonstration on the topic the extensor compartment and the dorsum of hand. This whole we have dissected the extensor compartment, and this structure, this constitutes the dorsum of hand. The extensor compartment contains 7 superficial muscles and 5 deep muscles. The total extensor compartment contains the 12 muscles. We have 7 superficial and 5 deep muscles. First of all, I will name the superficial muscles, deep muscles. Then we will discuss the origin and insertions of superficial as well as deep muscles. Muscle number 1 is anconeus. You can see some brown fibers here. This brown color structure between the epicondyle, this one is the lateral epicondyle, and the olecranon process, these brown fibers, these are actually the fibers of anconeus muscle. These are the fibers of anconeus muscle. It originates from the lateral epicondyle of humerus and inserts into the olecranon process, the lateral surface of the olecranon process. So this triangular shaped muscle, this is the anconeus muscle. Now muscle number 2 is the brachioradialis. This muscle is brachioradialis. You can see the fibers. These are the fibers of brachioradialis. Why it is called brachioradialis? Because it originates from the bone of brachium and inserts into the radius. This muscle is called as brachioradialis. We have seen the lateral epicondyle, which is also called as common extensor origin. Lateral epicondyle के ऊपर here we have the lateral supracondylar ridge. So the muscle originates from the lateral supracondylar ridge, passes downwards and gets inserted into the radius. Into the which part of radius? Into the styloid process of radius. So this muscle is called as brachioradialis. Just close to it we have two twins. This with the long tendon is called as extensor carpi radialis longus, whereas the muscle beneath this is called as extensor carpi radialis brevis. This was brachioradialis. Then we have extensor carpi radialis longus and extensor carpi radialis brevis. Extensor carpi radialis longus also originates from the supracondylar ridge just below the brachioradialis. ठीक है, एक्सटेंसर कार्पी रेडियलिस लॉन्गस जो है वो लेटरल सुप्राकॉन्डाइलर रिज से ओरिजिनेट करता है जस्ट ब्रेकियोरेडियलिस के ओरिजिन के नीचे. द एक्सटेंसर कार्पी रेडियलिस लॉन्गस इंसर्ट इनटू द बेस ऑफ द सेकंड मेटाकार्पल. द मसल इंसर्ट्स इनटू द बेस ऑफ द सेकंड मेटाकार्पल. दिस इज एक्सटेंसर कार्पी रेडियलिस लॉन्गस. अब इसके नीचे मसल आती है. दिस इज कॉल्ड एक्सटेंसर कार्पी रेडियलिस ब्रेविस. ये ओरिजिनेट करता है लेटरल एपिकॉन्डाइल से. द एक्सटेंसर कार्पी रेडियलिस ब्रेविस इट ओरिजिनेट्स फ्रॉम द लेटरल एपिकॉन्डाइल एंड इट गेट्स इंसर्टेड इनटू द बेस ऑफ द थर्ड मेटाकार्पल. ठीक है, ब्रेकियोरेडियलिस स्टाइलॉइड प्रोसेस पे, एक्सटेंसर कार्पी रेडियलिस लॉन्गस सेकेंड मेटाकार्पल पे, एक्सटेंसर कार्पी रेडियलिस ब्रेविस थर्ड मेटाकार्पल पे. Now we come on to the another muscle, superficial muscle. This is called as extensor digitorum. Are you able to see the tendons of extensor digitorum? Okay, these are the tendons of extensor digitorum muscle. Extensor digitorum again gets originated from the common extensor origin, that is the lateral epicondyle of humerus. That is the lateral epicondyle of humerus. Now the muscle divides into 4 tendons. So the muscle divides into the 4 tendons for the medial 4 digits, medial 4 fingers. So this muscle is called as extensor digitorum muscle. You can see the tendons. Now are you able to see this structure? This is called as extensor retinaculum. इसको बोलते हैं हम एक्सटेंसर रेटिनाकुलम, विच इज द मॉडिफिकेशन ऑफ द डीप फेशिया एट द डॉर्सल एस्पेक्ट ऑफ द रिस्ट बिटवीन द रेडियस एंड द कार्पल बोन्स. रेडियस, अल्ना, स्टाइलॉइड प्रोसेस एंड द कार्पल बोन्स. दिस बैंड गोज obliquely. दिस कवर्स द एक्सटेंसर टेंडन्स. So this is called as extensor retinaculum and this muscle is called as extensor digitorum. Then the muscle divides into 4 tendons for the 4 fingers. The muscle divides into 4 tendons for the 4 fingers. At the metacarpophalangeal joint, it forms a structure that is called as extensor expansion. This is a triangular shaped structure formed by the extensor digitorum muscle. And the base is lying here and the apex goes distally. Base is proximal and the apex is distal, and each tendon then divides into a central slip and 2 collateral slips. This one is the central slip and these are 2 collateral slips. The collateral slips are inserted into the distal phalanx, whereas the central slips is inserted into the middle phalanx. The central slip is inserted into the middle phalanx, whereas the 2 collateral slips are inserted into the distal phalanx. This was the again discussing the insertion of the extensor digitorum muscle. The extensor digitorum muscle divides into a central slip and these are 2 collateral slips. We can see these are 2 collateral slips and this one is the central slip. The central slip lies proximal and the collateral slips, they go and they insert distal. Is it clear? This is the extensor digitorum muscle. Is it clear? Now we have another muscle which is lying close to the extensor digitorum muscle. This is going towards the little finger, inserting into the extensor expansion of the little finger. This is the extensor digiti minimi muscle. This is the tendon of extensor digiti minimi for the little finger. The extensor digiti minimi muscle originates from the lateral epicondyle of humerus and it forms a tendon which goes and inserts along with the tendon of the extensor digitorum into the little finger, into the dorsal aspect of little finger. Okay? It inserts into the extensor expansion of the little finger. This muscle is called as extensor carpi ulnaris. Towards the ulna, it is called ulnaris. Okay? This is extensor carpi ulnaris. It also originates from the lateral epicondyle of humerus. It goes and inserts into the base of the 5th metacarpal. It goes and inserts into the base of the 5th metacarpal. This muscle is extensor carpi ulnaris. Extensor retinaculum is nothing but the modification of D fascia on the dorsal aspect of the wrist. This whole structure is called as extensor retinaculum, which covers the extensor tendons. सारे extensor tendons को cover करके रखता है. This structure is called as extensor retinaculum. ये extend करता है radius से ulna और pisiform और triquetral के बीच में. It extends between the radius, a part of ulna and the carpal bones, that is pisiform and triquetral. ये सारे के सारे टेंडन्स को कवर करके रखता है. देन इट सेंड्स सम सेप्टा इनसाइड so that the whole extensor compartment is divided into further 6 small compartments by the 5 septa going inside, and different structures are passing through the different compartments. This is extensor retinaculum, and now we are cutting the fibers of the extensor retinacula to show you the deeper structures. We have covered the 7 superficial muscles. Now we will cover the deep muscles, which are 5 in number. You can see these muscles. These muscles, they are inserting onto the thumb. So this should be named as pollicis. One is abductor pollicis longus. This muscle is abductor pollicis longus. It lies along with another muscle which is called as extensor pollicis brevis. You can see this is abductor pollicis longus and this is extensor pollicis brevis. The third tendon which you are able to see, it goes on to the thumb. This is extensor pollicis longus. This is the tendon of extensor pollicis longus. And we have another muscle. This is called as extensor indicis muscle. You can see this is extensor indicis muscle. तो abductor pollicis longus, extensor pollicis brevis and extensor pollicis longus, they are originating and they are coming out and inserting into the thumb. They are called as outcropping muscles. They are originating and coming out and inserting into the thumb. They are called as outcropping muscles. So three outcropping muscles are abductor pollicis longus, extensor pollicis brevis and extensor pollicis longus. We also have another deep muscle which we have seen in the floor of the cubital fossa. This muscle is called as supinator muscle. This muscle is the supinator muscle. The supinator muscle originates from the lateral epicondyle of humerus, the lateral ligament of elbow joint and the supinator crest in the ulna, and this muscle get inserts into the radius, into the posterior surface, lateral surface and anterior surface on the upper 1/3 of radius. The main action is supination. This is the supinator muscle. Supinator, abductor pollicis longus, extensor pollicis brevis, extensor pollicis longus and extensor indicis, they are counted as deep muscles of the extensor compartment. Now we will discuss the origin and insertion of the deep muscles of the extensor compartment. First of all, the abductor pollicis longus, this muscle. You can see this muscle is originating both from radius and ulna, the dorsal surface. The abductor pollicis longus, it originates from the posterior surface of the radius and ulna. Then the muscle comes outwards as outcropping muscle. Then it is inserted into the thumb, into the base of the first metacarpal. This is inserting into the base of the first metacarpal. This muscle is called as abductor pollicis longus. The second muscle which is lying close to it, this is called as extensor pollicis brevis. Extensor pollicis brevis originates from the radius, just close to the origin of the abductor pollicis longus. This is the extensor pollicis brevis, originates from the radius, posterior surface. Then the muscle goes along with the abductor pollicis longus and inserts into the thumb. Into the thumb where? Into the base of the proximal phalanx of thumb. This is the tendon of extensor pollicis brevis, base of the proximal phalanx of the thumb. Then we have another muscle. This is called as extensor pollicis longus. It originates from ulna. It originates from the shaft of ulna, the posterior surface. Then the muscle, as it is given the name extensor pollicis longus, so it should be long. The muscle inserts into the thumb, the distal phalanx of the thumb, into the base of the distal phalanx of the thumb. This is the tendon of extensor pollicis longus. Now these three muscles, they form a gap here. They form a gap here. This area is called as anatomical snuff box. This area is called as, this depression is called as anatomical snuff box, which is formed by the tendon of abductor pollicis longus, extensor pollicis brevis and extensor pollicis longus. Now coming on to the extensor indicis muscle. This is going to the first finger, the index finger. This is the tendon of extensor indicis. The extensor indicis originates from the shaft of ulna, the posterior surface. Then the muscle goes downwards and inserts into this extensor expansion of the first finger, of the index finger. This is the tendon of extensor digitorum and this is the tendon of extensor indicis. They both are going to the first finger. This is the tendon of extensor indicis muscle coming from the deeper aspect. Now about the nerve supply of all the muscles of the extensor compartment. You have to remember that anconius, brachioradialis and extensor carpi radialis longus, three muscles. Again anconius, brachioradialis and extensor carpi radialis longus are supplied by the radial nerve. Rest all are supplied by a branch of the radial nerve, that is called as deep branch. You know that the radial nerve divides into two branches. One is superficial and deep. Superficial gives cutaneous branches, whereas deeper one supplies all the extensor muscles of the forearm except anconeus, brachioradialis and extensor carpi radialis longus. Now we will study the dorsal digital expansion, which is an important structure. This dorsal digital expansion is also called as extensor expansion. It is a triangular aponeurosis. You can see these are the fibers. It is a triangular aponeurosis related to the tendon of extensor digitorum muscles for all the four fingers. This structure, aponeurosis, triangular shaped structure aponeurosis, is called as extensor expansion. The base lies proximally, whereas the apex it lies distally. The base lies proximally, whereas the apex lies distally. Base covers the metacarpophalangeal joint. This is the tendon of extensor digitorum muscle. Near the proximal phalanx, you people know that the tendon of the extensor digitorum muscle covers the central slip, and it also gives two collateral slips. Plus, the lateral and the medial aspects, the other aspects of the extensor expansion, also receives the tendons of the interossei and lumbricals. Now the interossei and lumbricals will be covered in the muscles of hand later on. This structure is called as dorsal digital expansion. This aponeurotic structure. Base is proximal, whereas the apex is distal. Now we will be discussing the radial nerve. Radial nerve comes from the posterior cord of the brachial plexus, then enters the spiral groove, then comes in the cubital fossa. This structure is called as radial nerve. After it moves down in the forearm, it gives two branches. One is this branch and second is this branch. This is called as superficial branch of radial nerve, whereas this is called as deep branch of radial nerve, which after piercing the supinator muscle enters the posterior compartment, enters the extensor compartment, and then it is called as posterior interosseous nerve. Now this superficial branch, it remains superficial and it supplies the skin of the lateral 2.5 digits. It supplies the skin of the dorsum of the hand 2.5 digits. Now the deep nerve, which is also called as posterior interosseous nerve. This nerve pierces the supinator muscle, then it comes to lie in the posterior compartment of the forearm. This nerve is called as posterior interosseous nerve. It supplies the major muscles, extensor muscles of the forearm. This nerve is the posterior interosseous nerve. Also called as the deep branch of the radial nerve. This is the posterior interosseous nerve. It is the chief nerve of the back of forearm. It is given in the cubital fossa after piercing the supinator muscle below the lateral epicondyle of humerus. Now this nerve supplies the majority of the muscles of the extensor compartment of the forearm. The nerve runs downwards and finally close to the wrist. It ends in a pseudoganglion. Pseudoganglion give branches to supply the capsule, to supply the wrist as well as the intercarpal joint. This nerve is the posterior interosseous nerve. Thank you, students.